Hi guys, at this point, all our gear is set up and ready to use. All that's left is to adjust our camera settings. Let's begin by inserting an SD card into the appropriate slot and make sure it is formatted. Once the camera is turned on, hit the menu button and a menu appears on the LCD screen. Using the directional pad, scroll down until the wrench icon is highlighted. Press right on the directional pad and it should immediately highlight Format Memory Card. Press the middle button on the directional pad and then select the appropriate memory card slot to be formatted. A pop-up window appears saying, "All images on memory card will be deleted," with the option to select yes or no. Select yes and press the OK button. The LCD screen should take you back to the home screen. Press left on the directional pad and navigate the icons on the left up to the one that looks like a camera. Press right on the directional pad to open up the photo shooting menu options under that icon. Pressing down on the directional pad until you see image quality and select it. Navigate the list of options until you land on JPEG Fine and select it. Now, using the directional pad, scroll up to the storage folder and select. On the next screen, make sure Select Folder by Number option is highlighted and select it. Here you can change the number of your folders for your project. I always like to make sure it's set at 100 to start. After the image quality and folder numbers are set, we can now move on and set up our f-stop, shutter speed, ISO, and white balance. When shooting with RESolute, we need to make sure we are operating the camera in manual mode. To do this, there is a mode button located on the upper left side of the camera. Press and hold this button while rotating the dial located on the upper back side of the camera with your thumb. You will see options like P, which means programmed auto, S for shutter speed priority, A for aperture priority, and M for manual. When it lands on M, let go of the mode button to keep it in manual mode. To set the f-stop, there is a command dial located on the front right of the camera below the built-in trigger release. Rotate this until the f-stop is set to F11. Note, this will not change at any point throughout your project. Setting the ISO is pretty simple and will be set at 400 for inside photography and 100 for any outside shots that may happen on the project. Located on the top of the camera, next to the trigger release, is a button labeled ISO. Press, hold down, and with your thumb, rotate the command dial on the back side of the camera until you reach 400 for inside shots or 100 for outside. Once the f-stop and ISO are set, we can adjust our shutter speed. To do this, all we need to do is rotate the command dial on the back side of the camera. If you watch the control panel on the top of the camera as you adjust the command dial, you will notice the exposure indicator moving from minus to plus. Once the display indicates a positive or plus exposure, we can set our white balance. Located on the top of the camera on the left side, there is a white balance button labeled WB. Press and hold this button while simultaneously scrolling the command dial on the back of the camera. Up in the control panel, you will see different options for WB. Keep scrolling the dial until it reaches Pre. Once there, stop scrolling the dial and let go of the white balance button. Now press and hold the WB button again for 2 seconds. You should now see the Pre blinking inside the control panel. Once this happens, snap a photo. The control panel should now show the words good or no good. If it flashes a good, then we can snap a test shot and move on. However, if it flashes a no good, then we need to adjust our shutter speed some more until we get our white balance reading to flash good. A little disclaimer, anytime you're out on the job and the lighting or the room changes, a white balance check will need to take place so the images reflect their true colors. If any of the lighting changes, the photos can change from a natural look to a more cool or warm visual. So always make sure to adjust your white balance throughout your project. Now that the white balance is set, we can snap a test shot. To do this, press the shutter release button located on the upper right of the camera body. Now press the play button on your camera and the LCD screen will reveal the photo we just took. While the photo is displaying, press up on the directional pad and now a histogram appears next to the photo with all the information displayed directly below. If most of the information is left heavy on the histogram, that means our photo is underexposed. If most of the information is right heavy on the histogram, that means the photo is overexposed. In either one of these scenarios, it means we have to adjust our shutter speed and double check until all the information shows up in or around the middle of the histogram. Once we get this dialed, we can now move on to shooting our first RESolute station, which I will cover in the next segment.